Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're going to be reviewing the 2019 Mercedes Benz C300. I'd love to review, you see this? 2019 Mercedes G63. That thing is loaded back there and it's just kind of creeping in the corner. We'll get to that on a later video. However, today we're going to be looking at the 2019 C300. This one is pretty basic, but it has a lot of standard luxury features. So let's jump right in and check it out. So as we take a look at the outside of the new 2019 Mercedes Benz C300, you'll notice you have these nice alloy 18-inch wheels. These are actually on run flat tires. Then you have the newer designed LED headlights, and you also have the LED daytime running lights right there. So you notice that nice new aggressive sporty style within that headlight. This does not have the diamond pattern grille that you'd have on the upgraded package. This does have the regular Mercedes grille, but nonetheless it is still stylish and sporty and very classy looking. This is actually called emerald green, so you'll notice it looks black in certain light, but if you can kind of see here, it has a dark pearl forest green look to it, which is actually really awesome in person. If you get a chance to check it out, I would highly recommend it. I'm actually at Mercedes-Benz at Buckhead in Atlanta, Georgia, in Buckhead, but I would recommend checking it out at your local Mercedes dealer among all of the other awesome colors they currently have. What you'll notice is these mirrors right here. They have the turn signal right there, but then those will actually fold in when you lock the vehicle, along with these chrome handles. These have the lights behind them as well, so it lights everything up at night so you can see that. And then the sunroof is standard on the new C300 as well, which I just think is an awesome feature, and you can get the panoramic sunroof as an upgraded package. Moving along to the back, you'll have these nice bright brake lights as well, which are LED, and then coming down to the back bumper area, everything is molded in and flush with the rear of the vehicle. Nothing's sticking out, so everything's sleek and sexy looking and athletic looking, I guess is the best way to put it. But then you actually have the automatic trunk as well. So if I just click this, that thing just opens up automatically, which is honestly really convenient. You'd think it'd be a silly feature, but if you have your hands full, it's super convenient, because not only is opening it convenient, but you could just, I think I get more use out of just clicking this button and closing it, especially if you have your hands full and you're just in a rush. Now, let's open it back up and check out the actual size of the trunk. So I have a small backpack and a tripod back here, then you have the first aid kit as well for size reference. So you still have a really decent size trunk. So one thing I want to point out, and this is just so small, but how impressed I am with the sleek features and the little things that Mercedes thinks of, is not only are these bars covered and insulated, so that gives you a quieter ride. It just is just overall better as far as the sound reduction. But then normally you have these little, little buttons you have to pull up underneath here on other models to get to the back seats. These are really flush and not in the way when you don't need them, but when you pull them, these handles just unlock the back seats. And it's just super easy to use. As you open this up here, you're just going to pull these down, and it doesn't stick or anything like that. It's not hard to do. And now you have all that space in the back, 60-40 split seats of course, but plenty of space as well for that. Now that we've made our way to the back, I'm going to lift this seat back up here just to show you guys how much space you have overall. Even though it is a sedan, it's in kind of like that mid-range. It's not a large sedan, but it's not as small as the A-Class. However, the seating is, this back here is not perforated. This is just a beige leather, but it's a decent size back seat. The only thing I don't like is the fact that you have this big hump right here. Other models and other sedans on the market that compete with this just don't have that hump right there, so it can kind of kill your legroom if you're forced to sit in the middle right back here. Other than that, great space, great back seat area, and you have this wood grain that continues into the Burmester audio speakers, regular tweeter right there and there as well. All right, now that we are done with the back, let's take a look at the front of the vehicle. We're going to open that up, and here is kind of a first-person look at what it looks like to open the door and jump into a 2019 C300. For those of you who are shopping online or haven't had a chance to get to the dealership and take a look at it yet, this is what it would look like. And of course, you have all of your buttons and controls right there for your seat windows, and there's your trunk right there. You have the nice Mercedes badging and brand right there, and then you have your beautiful perforated leather and stitched beige seats right there. These are These have massive bolsters. They're very, very comfortable. Definitely more comfortable than previous C-Class models and other competitive models as well. And this nice, thick, sporty leather steering wheel with the paddle shifters right here, wipers, and then you have all of your reverse, neutral, drive, and park controls right there as well. So this steering wheel, honestly, really makes for the feel of the vehicle because it doesn't feel like just an average classy sedan. It has an athletic and a sporty feel to it as well, especially with the dynamic driving controls as well. And not only is the steering wheel obviously full of features and leather and it's a feel-good steering wheel, you have the power as well. So if I just click this back here, it's going to move in and out and up and down, all with the power and the flip of a switch. So very easy to get comfortable along with that, and the seat and the underleg adjustment, lumbar and power seats, along with 3 memory settings, heated and cooled. There's no shortage of comfort in the new 2019 Mercedes Benz C-Class. This is a look at the 2019 Mercedes Benz C-Class under the hood of the C300, of course. It's a 2.0 liter engine, and again, this one's in emerald green. This one is a 2.0 4-cylinder, and it makes 255 horsepower at about 5,500 RPMs. This also will get you an average of 23 city and 34 highway, and the average price point of this car starting out is around $41,000. So not cheap, a little bit more expensive than other cars in its class that it competes with, but hey, it's a Mercedes 300, guys. So you're going to get a lot of standard luxury features this time around in this model. Again, like the perforated seats, 18-inch alloy wheels, sunroof, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, a lot of the lighting and driving assist features. So tons and tons of safety and luxury features standard now in this model. All right, so we're going to get in to start this thing up. So right when you jump into the new 2019 C300, you notice that you have the 10.5-inch screen right here. It is not the large dual screen that is set into the dash that you would notice in the new GLE that I did a review on previously with all those fancy features, but it is a big improvement from previous smaller screens and previous generations. So this is very slim and streamlined. It goes kind of right into where the air vents would be, and I like that they kind of click as you get them centered, but you have that streamlined look right there with the wood grain all around and throughout. The regular analog clock right there, which is nice and classy, along with your toggles and switches here for your air conditioning that I pointed out and noted that I loved in the new GLE as well. Down here you'll have your cup holders, which when this is closed, it's nice and flush and sleek. Pop that open and you have your cup holders, cigarette lighter there, and then your dial to control the home screen. So you can just twist this or hit the home button right here, and then that'll bring you up here, and then you can adjust where you want to go just by twisting it. So there's no there's no touch, as you can see right here, but again, at least you still have this dial right here. Then you have your auto idle on off button right here, which I always get in and just turn that right off because it's super annoying. With a 2.0 liter 4-cylinder engine, it's more annoying than I think on the bigger engines. And then you have your dynamic ride control here, which as I adjust that, you're going to have your individual, Sport Plus, Sport, and Comfort, and Eco actually. So as you're driving, you can just flip through there, click the little knob down there, and then you're in whichever mode you want to drive in. And as we're looking at this nice big digital screen here, you'll notice there are a lot of buttons on the steering wheel, and the steering wheel is a little overwhelming, kind of like the GLE, but not really once you get the hang of it. You'll notice there's a home and a back button here with a little trackpad, and the same thing on the left side. That's because this one is going to control that screen right there, and then this one is going to control that screen right there. So I actually like that once I got the hang of it and learned to figure it out. And you're just going to hit home here and then use this little trackpad to scroll across and adjust those. And then this home button here is going to be used to scroll across those right there. So super easy to use. It's actually really easy to use as you're driving and navigate, and you're not taking your eyes too far off the road in front of you, and you have all of those screens right there. And then you have all of your Bluetooth settings, volume settings here, but you also have, which I really like, just based on the placement of your hand and arm as you're driving, is a volume and a power button right here, so you can just crank that up just like that. And speaking of volume, you have the Burmester sound system right here with the nice stainless speaker covers here, these metal covers, heated seats and cooled seats in this model. which is great. That comes straight through the perforated seats. And then you have 3 different settings for the memory seats, along with not only your seat adjustment, but you have the leg adjustment underneath your knees. So that really helps on long rides. It just really gives you an edge up on that comfort. And then you have your lumbar support down on the side, right down there, which I'll show you. And then everything else kind of has that metal finish as well, which I really like, in contrast with this beige interior and then this nice wood grain right here. As you're scrolling through all of these different options on your screen right here in the center, I like to go over to vehicle, and I really love how you can just go over to the dynamic select and you have your individual configurations, vehicle data, engine data. This one's really cool because as you're pressing on the gas, I'll show you, even though I'm stationary, you can see everything right there. So it's almost a digital look on that screen, while you have this same digital screen here with you have your G-force meter, a lot of other options you can throw up on there, and you have your miles per hour as well. So a lot of different digital ways you can look at things and customize things, and different screens that you can put up there. That's just one of the many that I've noticed that I like. And then you can click over and you have all of your assistance features, consumption, light settings, because you can adjust those, customize those. You have the lights on the actual handles as you lock and unlock it. Even on this more basic model, this doesn't have the night package or the sport package, but you do have a sunroof standard, alloy wheel standard, this nice perforated leather standard. So a lot of stuff comes standard on just the basic C300 model. One of the newer features on the new 2019 Mercedes Benz C300 and other C classes is the Apple CarPlay option. So you can go down here, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Apple CarPlay is a little bit easier to implement and use right out of the gate. You just plug your phone in. I don't have mine plugged in, but you can it'll just run right when you do it. With the Android Auto, you're gonna have to download the Android Auto app on your device and then allow it to access the vehicle, and then from then on you're going to be able to use it very, very easily. But those are on this vehicle on all of the newer Mercedes models, and you have your media and radio here, and the sound system does sound really good just based on having the Burmester sound system. So while we're in the car, I figured I'd back it up and show you guys what these cameras look like. You're going to have the dynamic guideline, of course, which turns, and as I mentioned in the previous video about the GLE 350 and 450 that I just came out with, those are pretty long lines right there, so they're going to give you a pretty good idea of like where you're going to end up. So that's just something very little and minor, but I think it goes a long way, especially when you're in the car every day driving it. As you turn the little dial down here, you're going to notice that you can switch it to it's basically utilizing different aspects of the camera to give you pretty much a 180-degree view around the whole back bumper. So I think that's pretty cool, and that's going to come in handy for people who live in tight spots like New York City or LA, or I'm in a parking garage, for example, so I could see this pillar behind me and then that stairwell behind me, which juts out. But if I switch over to the other view, it's kind of hard to see that pillar right there, so I may hit it if I didn't use that other camera. So just a reason I would probably use that 180 view probably more than the regular view. And of course, you know, as we're driving, the steering is very responsive, very soft. You have a thicker, sportier steering wheel right here, but it is going to be very easy to turn, and I'm going very slow. If I just turn around this corner right here, you're going to notice it's just so easy to turn the wheel. So it was raining before. Now that it stopped raining just for a little bit, I wanted to bring the vehicle out in the sunlight just to show you the C300 with the emerald green. It looks more black in this lighting than it does when you have direct light shining on it, but here is what it looks like in the daylight, in the sun. So these LED lights do shine really bright. The car looks very, very nice in the daylight. There's your 19-inch alloy wheels, and you have all of those chrome features to accent all of that. So again, a better look at the vehicle in the daylight. And thank you guys for checking out the video on the new 2019 C-Class, the C300. Really appreciate you guys dropping by the channel. If you found value and you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below on what you liked about that video, or maybe some of the other Mercedes models you'd like, and some stuff you'd like to see in the future. Until then, I'm gonna go over here and drool over this G63 in matte gray, and then hopefully we can get a review on this on the channel very, very soon. But until then, thank you guys for stopping by the channel. We'll catch you on the next video.